Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. Now this is a continuation of the series where I show the 10 best songs from my 10 favourite artists, which in itself is a response to a set of videos I did before Christmas. I started them where I showed the 10 worst songs from my 10 favourite artists. And today is the penultimate one, and it is The Smiths, and the last one will be Nick Lowe. So my 10 favourite songs of The Smiths, a band that I loved in the 1980s. I bought all the singles apart from the first one, or actually apart from the first two on the day of release or the week of release. So 10 songs, and they are, my number 10 is from Meat is Murder, and it is the track Nowhere Fast, and this opens up side 2. It's a really sort of almost like a little bit of a Johnny Cash number, because it's got a little bit of a country boom chicka boom twang to it, which is really good. It's a short song, it's about 2.5 minutes long, and I think it should have been actually a single, and it's one of the best tracks off this. I remember seeing a documentary at the time, and the guy interviewing Morrissey misquoted the lyrics, and Morrissey actually put him right straight away, and it was actually quite amusing. But Nowhere Fast is a great little upbeat number, love it to bits, and it's my number 10. At number 9, and it is from their debut album, and this is quite the opposite. This is a really somber number, and it's called Suffer Little Children, and this is about the murderers Myra Hindley, and I can't remember the other guy's name, to be honest with you. I'm glad I can't. And I remember at the time whenever this came out, Morrissey got slated for it. The press thought it was just too much to be singing about the murders, but if you actually listen to it, it's very sympathetic towards the children, Leslie Ann, etc., that actually got murdered, and them crying out. So I think it's an absolutely brilliant track. It actually got onto the B-side of Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now as well, but it's the final track off this album, and I think it's absolutely excellent. So my number 9 is Suffer Little Children. At number 8 is a standalone single from 1985, and it is Shakespeare's Sister. Now this is really short, this is just about hits 2 minutes and no more, but this fires along at 100 miles an hour. I absolutely love it, and I love the lyric. I thought that if you had an acoustic guitar, then it meant you were a protest singer. I could smile about it now, but at the time it was terrible. I think it's hilarious. It's an absolutely brilliant little track. Never got on the album. It would have sat well, I think, on Meat is Murder, but from the same sessions. But an absolutely brilliant song, and that's my number 8, Shakespeare's Sister. At number 7, and it is from The Queen Is Dead, and There Is a Light That Never Goes Out, which wasn't a single at the time, but it did become a single in the early 90s, and it was, I think, a decent enough hit. But this is the one with the lyric, and if a 10-ton truck crashes into us, to die by your side would be a heavenly way to die, or something like that there. I probably misquoted it, but it's an absolutely brilliant track, very acoustic-y, but so melodic, and it is a highlight from this album. It's absolutely brilliant, and it deserved to be a single, and it possibly should have been at the time, because at the time there was 2 other singles, The Boy with the Thorn Aside and Big Mouth Strikes Again, so a third single could have come out off this very easily. So my number 7 is There Is a Light That Never Goes Out. My number 6, and we have from the William It Was Really Nothing single, is B-side, and this is even shorter. This is Please 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 Let Me Get What I Want, and this is absolutely beautiful acoustic guitar, and then the mandolin that Johnny Marr plays at the end is absolutely stunning, and it's a gorgeous track. It's more famous than its A-side William, which I also really love as well. And the 12-inch single of this had another track called How Soon Is Now on it, and it's even more famous than Please 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 Let Me Get What I Want. So of those 3 songs that got on the full 12-inch, the single, the A-side, is probably the least famous. This got onto one of the soundtracks from the mid-80s. I think it was Pretty in Pink. It may have been some kind of Wonderful, but if I was putting money on it, I think it's Pretty in Pink. But it's an absolutely brilliant, beautiful song. The problem is it's far too short. It's short of 2 minutes, but that mandolin solo at the end is absolutely stunning. So number 6 is Please 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 Let Me Get What I Want. And at number 5, and we actually go back to the debut album, and it is the track Still Ill, and this is the one that opens the side 2 of this, and this should definitely have been a single. I know it was a single in some of the territories because I've seen a picture sleeve for it, but it's that early jingle jangle, this Charlie Man type of guitar, and it's absolutely brilliant, absolutely fantastic song. It also featured, I think, with a harmonica solo on the Hatful of Hollow album as a John Peel session, but it's this version here, John Porter produced, is absolutely brilliant, and it's my number 5. And at number 4, and also from the same album, but I'm going to show the single, it's What Difference Does It Make, and this is the 3rd single. It's the second hit single. It's the first single after This Charming Man, which was the first one I bought. This was the one I was waiting for because I was so blown away by This Charming Man, and this did not disappoint. I thought it was every bit as good. I absolutely love this. I am not as keen on the John Peel version of it, to be quite honest. I prefer this one. There's a little bit more in this, a little bit of a higher production on it, but it's an absolutely stunning song. And it actually got on to Now That's What I Call Music 2, believe it or not. I don't think they had any other songs on the Now series, but this one got on, and you know, happy enough to see it there. So my number 4 is What Difference Does It Make. At number 3, and we go to the Queen Is Dead album, and it's the title track, and this is just stunning. With the Take Me Back to Dear Old Blighty start, which was taken from the movie, and I can't remember the name, but I've seen it on YouTube. Well, the actual little bit that this comes from, before the drums come in, and then that crunching Johnny Marr guitar, absolutely brilliant, and the bass of Andy Rourke is fantastic. Top notch song, and then the lyrics on top of that are absolutely hilarious by Morrissey. So The Queen Is Dead, it did become a single I think about 5 or 6 years ago for Record Store Day, but that doesn't really count. But yeah, absolutely fantastic song, and I guess my number 3. My number 2 and my number 1, they can change places at any time. I can never make my mind up, but for today I'm going to go for my number 2 to be This Charming Man, the single that started it all off for me. Okay, Hand in Glove was their debut single. This is the one that first charted, got in the top 30 just, but whenever I heard that guitar riff at the start, it just blew me away. This was something completely new, although it was influenced by something completely old, but had its own sound. You know, you can say, oh, this is like Jingly Jangly Bird stuff, but this is a completely different sound, and with Morrissey's different style of vocals, this is absolutely amazing. Absolutely love this, and you know, it's always been a favourite. It wasn't on the first album, although it did get on the first album in America, but the UK edition did not include it. All CDs now do have it stuck in the middle of the album, so that's obviously where it came from in America, probably open side 2, I don't know. But brilliant track, and it's my number 2. Which means my favourite Smith song, and you know, I absolutely adore this. It's The Boy with the Thorn on His Side from 1985, and the first single to be featured on The Queen Is Dead. Second one was Big Mouth Strikes Again, and this such a good melody. It really is, with those acoustic guitars, and then in the background the electric guitar. I absolutely adore this song. I loved it at the time. Whenever it first came out, I just thought this is their best, even though I thought maybe it's Charming Man, so I haven't really changed my mind much, but at the moment this is the one I would go to all the time, and you just cannot help but sing along to this. And this is actually quite a funny song as well, The Boy and the Thorn on the Side. behind the hatred that there lies a burning desire for love. It's just the way Morrissey sort of delivers it as well, which makes it really actually quite witty. Everyone thinks he is a miserable old sod, but he wasn't. He was a very, very witty songwriter. But Boy of Thorn aside, number one, didn't do that well, and Charles got top 30, but didn't even make the top 20, unfortunately. So, my number one. Okay, so that's my top 10 songs from the Smiths. The next one and the last one in the series will be Nick Lowe. So until then, all the best now. Bye bye.